All right, what's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be breaking down one of the best trades called in the signal group that gave us 4% on Monday. So let's get right into it. So we're going to be breaking down this trade right here that gave us a 1 to 4. You can see that we got pretty much the sniper entry from our entry. That is where the volume came in from. So let's break this down from scratch. Let's delete everything and break this down. So when I come to trade in the morning, let's replay this. And this is what we're presented with when we come to trade, because it was on Monday. And I come to sit down at 8:30 and I trade New York session. So I sit down 30 minutes before the session opens to do my analysis. And that way I am fresh in the market. So this is what I was presented with when I came to trade, right? So I go to the M5 time frame, which is the first thing that I do is M5. And then I mark the highs and lows, which the highs and lows is going to be this. It's going to be the highest and lowest point between Frankfurt to New York session. And it's one previous trading day. So if we're trading on Monday, one previous trading day is Friday's price, right? So this is the lowest point between Frankfurt to New York session, low of day. And then right here, we're going to mark the high of day up here. And the key, notice how I'm marking the high of day up here and not this point right here, because this is the high of day, the highest point of the day, but it is not in session. It has to be in session to be valid. So this is the highest point right here. And then now we go and we mark the previous high and previous low of day. Now, the previous high and previous low of day is going to be two previous trading days than the one we're trading from, right? So here we go ahead and we're going to mark this as our previous high of day right here. Let's zoom in and make sure we got the right spot. So we zoom in. Notice how this is out of session, right? It seems that this is the highest point, but that's out of session. So in session, it is this point right here. Previous high of day, and then now we're gonna mark the previous low of day, right? So we mark this point right here. And if you guys back test this, you guys are gonna see how respected these areas are throughout the market. And when they're in confluence with the supplier demand zone, it's a higher probability trade. So this is the previous low of day. And then now let's just do a top-down analysis and see what price is doing, right? So I'm a scalper, but I still do my top-down analysis to find the actual direction of the market to see where the market is going. So now that we're on the weekly time frame, check this out. Let's break this down. If you notice here, we have this big push to the downside, this huge push to the downside. And then price gave us this pullback. And then this pullback seems to be coming from an area of here of supply, maybe on the daily. And we'll see that right now. All right, so now on the weekly, we can see that price is giving us this pullback right here, finding an area of demand, right? So notice how price is in this area of demand right here. And then if price were to break past this area, there's nothing stopping price until this area down here. But let's go to the daily and see what we can find. So on the daily, check this out. On the daily, price is at this range right here. You can see how price used this area and gave us this push to the upside. So hypothetically speaking, let me see on H4, because that area was pretty much used already. So let me mark down the next area. If we go here, let me see. This area is the one that price is touching right here. So notice how specific these areas are. Notice how I just marked this right here, this H4 demand. Price tapped this area, that is where the volume is coming in from. Now, this area was used already, so I'm marking the next target for price. So if I go to H1, let's check this out. If I go to H1, this is the area that we're working with right here. So on H1, our next target for price is going to be down here, this area of demand that gives us push to the upside. So this area right here, this is our H1 demand. And then now we go to reset chart view. This is what we're presented with. Let's let this play. So this is the next target for price. Notice how we just found our next target for price, our next area of demand. And then now we can identify, notice how price is pretty much just giving us a pullback, and we're continuing to move to the downside with this being the next target. Now, the key thing here, guys, the key thing here is that we have these equal lows right here. Notice how we have these equal lows right here. Mark this like this. Mark this as equal lows. And whenever we have equal highs or equal lows, this is an indication that price is going to take this out. So notice how we have these equal lows. We have an area of supply right here. It's very likely price is going to continue to move to the downside. So if we just go to M15, actually, let's go back to M5, because now I remember something that I'm trying to put myself in the same exact mindset that I was that day when I was trading, right? So notice this. Notice how we're going to take out those equal lows right here, this equal lows. The next target for price is this H1 demand here. And then let's break this down. Notice how price is coming off of this M5 supply right here. So this is a lot of heat for you guys. Make sure you guys are paying attention, because this is some fire. So notice this area of supply right here, right? This area of supply right here that gives this push to the downside. Now we go to M15 and notice how this looks. So notice here, you can't see it, but on M5, there's an area of supply. We have those equal lows to get taken out, and this as our first target, this H1 demand. So this is just a pullback to continue to move to the downside. And then when I come to sit down to trade, notice what we have here. If we go to M5, notice how we have pre-New York setting us up with this M5 supply off of this other supply coming from the left. So pre-New York is creating an area of supply right here, this M5 supply. We go to M1, look at the M1 right here. So the M1 is going to be this one right here. This one right here, the one that's in confluence with it, this M1 right here. And then we go to M15. Look at it right here, like this, M15. So whenever we have something like this right here, which our previous session is setting us up, if we're trading New York, pre-New York is our previous session. Notice how we have these 3 time frames in confluence. So this is automatically that we could take a trade right here. So as soon as price touched this area, I sent a market execution with these being the parameters right here. So let's see. Let me put this like that. This was the parameters we had, an 8 pip stop loss with a 32 pip take profit, pretty much targeting those equal lows. So if we just fast forward, let's check this out. Notice this. Notice how the whole our New York session opens, right? New York session opens, price pulls back into this area. I call the market execution and we go straight into profit. Price gave an automatic 1 to 2 right here. And then you can see price during London ended up hitting take profit. We just let price do its thing. Notice how London is the one that smashes. Notice how London is the one that smashes take profit for a 1 to 4. So you guys are seeing how we identified the direction where price is just looking for an area of demand. We have these equal lows on H1, with this being the next target right here. Is H1 demand, equal lows, prices coming off of this M5 supply right here. And then our previous session is setting us up with this area of supply off of that other time frame supply. This is like a high probability trade. As soon as price pulled back into this area, we take the sell, and notice that is where the volume comes in from, with price smashing past those equal lows and heading towards this H1 demand. If we just fast forward, we can see that price eventually taps that H1 target. So let's see what happens. You can see right here, literally, we just smashed that target. All right, so you guys are seeing week after week how I provide you guys with the best trade from the signal group. And in this signal group, we're averaging about 7 to 12% on average every single month. So if you want to make this percentage, click the link in the description to be part of the signal group. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.